So imagine this, you're on the beach, it's a lovely day, 600,000 degrees, but you are on your computer, you're having the best time of your life. You're just as productive as you can possibly be. But are you really? Remote work promises us flexibility and location freedom, but is it really all that it's cracked up to be? After 2 years of working from remote beaches, incredibly beautiful, and bustling cafes, I've come to a conclusion, and spoiler alert, it's not always as fancy as people present it. Hi guys, my name is Ilko, and I'm running a marketing agency, so it means that I'm working remote from any place in the world that I fancy. I decided to make this video after spending 1 year at a particularly beautiful location here in Sozopol at the Black Sea, and I'm here on vacation, but I'm also working because the agency is at a stage where I can't leave it. So I thought this was the perfect time to make a video about how that's affecting my productivity. So what you can expect in this video is debunking the myth of is location freedom really this dream state that all of the influencers are making it to be? Are you really that productive? How is that affecting your mood? How is it affecting your work-life balance? Can you actually enjoy being on holiday? What's the long-term sustainability, and some practical tips that you can implement in your life so that you can make the most out of your remote traveling? So first of all, let's talk about the illusion of productivity. So on the one hand, you are flexible and you are location free. You can work from any place in the world you want, which gives you a lot of flexibility. So you're not chained to, I have 2 weeks of vacation time off, paid time off to go and spend time with the family or go visit the Maldives or Dubai, or doesn't matter. You can just fly there as long as you're making enough money, of course, and then you can work from there. But here's the catch. When I've been working from all places around the world, but when you're at a new place, for example, right now I'm filming this video from the bedroom. I would never in my life film a video from the bedroom, just because this is not the place that I film my videos. My bedroom is for sleep and sex. That's it. I don't usually work here, but here is my laptop. Here is the little points that I have for this video. I can see it's just not the place that I do these things in. But I'm forced to, because the space requires it. I'm at a holiday, so I'm sharing this apartment with my friends. They are also here. They have their own rooms, and I don't really have too much here. I have a few things, but I don't have a desk or a proper backdrop that I can shoot a nice video in. So I have to adapt, and that having to adapt already creates a lot of stress, a lot of discomfort that just takes away from the whole productivity thing, let alone my friends having to wake up and then I have to talk to them. I'm literally working from the balcony in the first 2 hours of the morning. I already established a routine, even though I'm leaving tomorrow. But it just clashes with your routine, and I'd say it decreases my productivity by 50%, even 60, maybe even 70%. So I'm only able, if I could have at home, I don't believe you can have more than 4 to 5 hours of productive time, but let's say 8 hours of productive time. Here, I would have 3, maybe 4 for the whole workday. And those 3 or 4 doesn't mean that I wake up and I work from 8 to 11. It means that I'm working from 8 to 5, but it's just I'm having to talk to someone. For example, for myself, I know that I'm much more productive and focused if I'm let alone. Just don't talk to me. Don't tell me funny stories. Just leave me be. I'm going to be focused on my computer. I'm going to do everything that I need to do. But other people are let's talk about this, and then let me ask you about that. I'm leave me alone, right? And here I can't do that because it's considered rude and impolite. And I don't have a space that, I guess, when I start making more money, I will be able to afford renting a house that I'm going to have an entire place to myself, an entire proper office that I can just go inside and do my job. Then that's great. But if that's not happening, I just have to adapt and I have to work from the kitchen. On the other hand, it's reduced commute stress. So you don't have to actually worry about getting to work, it taking you 45 minutes, an hour. I don't know where you live, but I live in the capital city of Bulgaria, and it's very easy for it to take you between 30 to 60 minutes to get to work. So that means that you have to wake up 30 to 60 minutes earlier to get to work. Whereas if you're working remote from home, you just open the laptop. It's as easy as that, and then you're working. However, on the other hand, that creates a lot of work-life balance problems. I don't have these problems at home because I'm gonna let you know why in a second, or I have them to a much minor extent. But here it creates a lot of work-life problems because I'm here on the holiday, or I'm considered to be here on the holiday. And my type of holiday is I'm going to be working 9 to 5, and then I'm going to enjoy my after 5 p.m. activities. And a lot of people are like against the 9 to 5 thing. And I think it gives you a great structure of the day. You're like, you know that you're working from 9 to 5. I usually start my work day at around 8, but that's just me. So I still work until like say 5, or I try to get most of my things done early in the afternoon, 3, 4 p.m. Because that way, it just creates a lot of structure in my head. And I know that I need to work from this to this time. Otherwise, I'm just working all the time. It's just very easy to work all the time when you are the one setting the schedule. It's very responsible. It creates a lot of self-discipline, and that's another benefit. It creates a lot of self-discipline, and you have to be very self-disciplined to be able to do it and sustain it long term, which is great, I think, for personal growth. And it requires a very strong character, or it requires you to build a very strong character, because lying to yourself is like probably the worst thing that can happen to you, and you not trusting yourself that when you say I'm gonna do this, you actually hold your word. However, when you're on the holiday, or when you're supposed to be on holiday, it's just like the beach is right there and I'm working and I want to go to the beach, but I also want to get this done. So it creates a lot of issues, work-life balance related. And when you don't have like a very comfortable place to work from, that just strengthens the problem. The way I deal with this situation when I'm back home is I have my own office that I only work in. So I'm fortunate enough to have a room that I'm using to film my videos and actually work, and that's the only two things that I do in that room. Here's Ilko editing from the office and wishing that he had come home back at least 3 hours earlier to get this done, not at 9 p.m., but here we are. This is the office. Or guests use it. There is a guest bed, which is like, I think I want to get rid of it because I'm in my office. What I can see is like, it's a very beautiful background, but in front of me there is a bed and a wardrobe because we're using it as a place for any guests. If they come, that's the place they stay. So it's not ideal, but at least I know when I'm inside I'm working. Whereas here it's very difficult. I have to work in the kitchen and I have to try to find an outlet, and it might sound obnoxious, but all those little details just add up to the productivity of the place. Now let's talk a little bit about the reality of working from exotic locations. Now I've worked from some of the most beautiful beaches on planet Earth. I'm talking wild beaches with the seaside is just like the waves are crashing. But you know what's the reality? There is very often internet problems. I'm in online meetings all the time, and that's a huge issue for me. I can't just be in an online meeting and then be, hello, can you hear me? It just doesn't work that way. It's not very professional. 1. And then 2, working from the remote beach it sounds great. But it's also 35,000 degrees. Your brain is just melting. If it's above 22 degrees, which is the temperature that this AC is now set to, my brain does not function. I don't know how you guys work. Please let me know down in the comments how it works for you. Are you able to work from the beach? Do you mind the heat? But I feel like I'm gonna faint, like, let alone like getting something done. I actually have to struggle no, that sounds very dramatic, but for real, it affects my productivity levels so much that I'm just looking at the computer and I'm like, it just doesn't, at some point I'm like looking at the computer is looking back at me. It's just, it's very funny. And for me, I need an AC. That's something that I've learned for myself. I need an AC to be able to function, to be able to think. A lot of my work requires me to think. And for me to be able to do it properly, I need the proper temperature. And you might be like, oh yeah, but that's like, Ilko, that's how do you call it? That's a pretension. It's a flex. You don't have to no, I actually need this to be able to be productive. And on the beach, when it's 35 degrees, I get burned in the shade. I don't know how that's possible, but I'm on the beach and I'd be working and I would get burned because I'm there from 11 to 3 p.m. That's not the time that I want to be at the beach. Maybe there is a beach somewhere in I don't know, somewhere on the North Sea or somewhere that between 11 and 3 p.m. it's probably, I don't know, 20 degrees, but I probably don't even want to be at that beach. So my point is, I get burned, I don't get anything done, and I'm not at the beach actually because I have to be working, but I'm not actually working. So it's an oxymoron. I don't know what's it called, but it's like it doesn't really work. It sounds great, and then it's like my laptop. The battery of my laptop is what, like an hour, 2 hours? If I'm doing like calls, it's probably gonna last 1, 2, 3 hours. What do I do after? Like a lot of bars are gonna let you like actually, they're gonna give you an outlet, but that's not everywhere. Some of the beaches that you are at, or if you're gonna be with friends, they don't have that. So on the one hand, if I'm gonna be somewhere, for example, in the winter is not very beautiful in Bulgaria unless you're skiing, unless you're in the mountains. Then there is a lot of snow, very beautiful, etc. But if you're not, then it's not very pretty, ugly, gray, etc. And I want to travel to an exotic place and work from there. But what I would do then is actually go somewhere and live for 2 to 3 months, not being here for 3 days, then being there for 2 days. That just completely messes up the routine, let alone the fact that when you're at a new place, very often you can't cook, I'm used to starting my days at a certain in a certain way, and when I'm away I just can't start them the way that I used to start them, that I usually start them. So that just messes up my day from the beginning. It's not like you can't recover after, but I'm used to having a specific type of breakfast, and that's possible like when you're where you're staying, like you can hire a chef or just go to a restaurant, but that just adds to the complexity. So if it's like you're changing places every 2-3 days, it's just completely counterproductive. And in the long term, you can't, this is just not like, it's very tiring to be in one place today and then next place next week and then next place the week after, and then being able to actually sustain your life. I think this decreases, like overall in the long term, it's not a very sustainable thing to be doing long term. So some benefits now to working remote actually that I enjoy when I am working from home, for example. Definitely cost saving, so you don't have to like actually spend time to go and for gas, for eating out, even though I do eat out but that's just because I don't want to like cook at home. I just prepare my breakfast. I'd say also improved focus when I'm alone and I'm in the office. I know I have to get the work done. There's no distractions. Where when you're at the office, I've heard that there is a lot of distractions and colleagues like going smoking cigarettes, like just wasting their time. If that's your experience, please let me know down in the comments. I've never worked at an office, so I don't have too much to share about the experience, but it's also good for the environment. You know, the less you use your car, the more you save the planet, etc. Having said all of this, I wouldn't say that working remote is like a total waste of time. Of course, I would prefer working from home. As I already said, I think it's all about finding the balance, and it's all about finding what works for you, because for you, working at an office might be better. For me, working at home in my office might be better. So it's all about finding what works for you. I've been incredibly grateful to be able to work from home because for me, it's a more efficient use of my time, and then I can spend the rest of my time hanging out with friends. It just creates a better structure to my life. Please let me know down in the comments, does it work for you? What's your experience working remote? Do you prefer working remote or do you prefer working at an office? I would love to hear your stories down in the comments, and I'm also going to be replying to some of your comments. So if you have any tips that worked for you working remote or in the office, please let me know down in the comments as well. Subscribe to my channel if you like this video. This is going to help me a lot because I'm still developing this channel and every single like does count. So I would be incredibly grateful. If you have a friend that is working remote and is going to find use in this video, please do share this video with them. Tag them down in the comments. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next video, which is probably going to be about morning routine, but it might not be. So stay tuned. It's going to come out at some point, that video. Thank you for watching. Bye.